Was I wrong about Flashback from Secrets of Strixhaven and modern Boros Ruby Storm? Let's go find out. Let's begin by thanking Christopher for today's donation deck. Christopher, thank you, thank you, thank you. And they watched my previous video that you can find in the card above where I played Flashback for the first time in Boros Ruby Storm. That said, they believe that I may have built my deck incorrectly. They did not think that I wanted 3 main deck copies of Flashback, and perhaps only 2 was correct. So this is a 1-mana instant from Secrets of Strixhaven where target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard gains Flashback. Okay, well, less of it might be right, and in order to maximize the potential for this card, Christopher has added in a second copy of Grape Shot, because effectively you'll need less Storm in order to win the game. That's their theory behind Flashback. The list outside of that is pretty much the same. There's a third copy of Wish instead of the third copy of Flashback. The mana base is slightly different. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Sunbaked Canyon, but I do think it's an acceptable land to play. There's a single copy of Gemstone Caverns, which at the end of my last video I said I would play. In that video, I felt like Modern was incredibly fast in that I wanted to move back to Strike It Rich and Gemstone Caverns. They're not playing the Strike Rich, but they did in fact add in the Gemstone Cavern, so we'll see how that plays out today. But for the most part, this is a fairly stock deck list, and we're going to be playing it because Christopher wants to play this deck in their local RCQ, and they wanted to see my thoughts on their exact 75, so that's what we're making happen today. So Christopher, thank you once again for the donation deck. I hope you do well at your RCQ. I hope everyone watching enjoys this video, and if you do, like, comment, subscribe, support the channel, and I would greatly appreciate that. But without any further ado, we're going to hop on into that first match, and I will see you there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1 with Christopher's Modern Boros Ruby Storm. Not my deck list, it is in fact Christopher's, and we're on the play. So we have Artist Talent into leveling it up into turn 4, a potential win. I guess I'll try this. If our opponent's on a really fast deck, this hand will not be good enough, but we're on the play, so I'm hoping that we have some time. Watery Grave, and a turn 1 Thoughtseize. Likely takes the Artist Talent, but we'll find out. They go after the Reckless Impulse, interesting. We'll fetch with the Arid Mesa, we'll go grab one of our 2 copies of Elegant Parlor, get rid of the Bloodstained Mire, we'll play Bloodstained Mire and fetch, we'll grab the basic Mountain and play Artist Talent. Pass the turn. They have another Watery Grave down to 14 life, and 2 Psychic Frog. We'll play Mountain, I will level up the Artist Talent, and then pass the turn. They have another copy of Thoughtseize, takes my Desperate Ritual, they play an Island, and now they swing. They'll get the draw card off the Psychic Frog, and they pass with 5 cards in hand. I guess we'll play Ruby Medallion for 1 mana, that's pretty cool. Discard Arid Mesa, another Artist Talent. Let's attempt a Valakut Awakening. We'll discard the second copy of Artist Talent, Valakut Awakening, the Thought Scholar targeting themselves, sure. Now they discard a Fatal Push, okay. Bloodstained Mire, why are you emptying your hand here? Do you think that is both players, or do you have like a Stubborn Denial? It is in fact Stubborn Denial, okay. They have 1 card left in their hand. We'll play Rail Monsoon Mage. Pass the turn. They give their Psychic Frog flying, and now they attack. I will not block. So we'll take 5 down to 12. They have 2 cards in their hand. They play another Psychic Frog. No, they unearth a Psychic Frog, and they have 1 card left. Magic Online being a little bit laggy right now. It's a little jumpy for me. The Rail Monsoon Mage trigger. We'll choose Tails. Discard the Arid Mesa. We draw another Ruby Medallion. The Wish resolves. Let's try Past in Flames. Costs 1 mana. The Rail Monsoon Mage trigger will select Tails again. I go down to 10. I'll discard the Ruby Medallion. And we drew another. Past in Flames. We'll play Desperate Ritual. Rail Monsoon Mage. This time we lose. Third flip in a row we've lost. Desperate Ritual on the stack. We'll play Reckless Impulse. The fourth spell, that's an instant or sorcery. We lose that one too. Reckless Impulse hits 2 more of those effects. I guess we'll play another one. I'll select Tails. I won this flip, but I don't want to transform yet. Discard the Rail Monsoon Mage. So if this was Striker Rich, I'd be in a much better spot here. With it being Flashback and only having 1 mana, it's very uncomfortable. But I was fortunate enough to hit double Desperate Ritual. So now I am allowed to transform the Rail Monsoon Mage. Yes. I'll discard the Flashback. We drew another Wish. We'll ultimate the Rail Leyline Prodigy. And this should get the job done. Beautiful. Firm's 8, they're at 12. We'll play Reckless Impulse. We'll try Ren's Resolve. No. I'm just building Storm Count at this point. We'll play Reckless Impulse. No. Storm is now 11. Wish will be 12. And then Grape Shot out of the sideboard will be Storm 13. Nice double Thoughtseize hand. Ultimately, I think they lost this game because they left me with Artist Talent on turn 1. They took a Reckless Impulse over a reducer that increases my card quality. So even a small decision like that had huge ramifications. We likely want Orm's Chant. And then one thing that Christopher was really interested in seeing was how good Hexing Squelcher was, so we're going to bring that in. And then this is not a matchup where Grape Shot is particularly incredible, so we'll board out the second copy of that. And I had a lot of hate on that first video about how it was the Flashback video and how I boarded it out all the time. Ultimately, I am trying to win the most number of matches possible while showcasing new cards. Like, that's always a benefit, but I'm still trying to win. And when you think about the typical sideboard plans for modern Ruby Storm, the Heroes Hangout, Glimpse the Impossible slot is traditionally the thing that is sided out the most. And Flashback took that spot. And when you look at the rest of the deck, it's a whole lot of cards that are sort of required. And I don't think trying to force Flashback to stay in the main deck is the right move and make the rest of your deck worse. So I apologize if you want to see the new card every single game of every single match. That's just not realistic. And if that's what you're looking for, I appreciate you watching up until this point. But I'm going to try to win matches. And I think boarding it out when you're supposed to is what we should be doing. So I think you could get rid of the third copy of Wish, and then we need one more card, which could be the third Past in Flames in a post-board match where your opponent is likely to have lots of graveyard hate. Oops, I accidentally sided out too. There we go, and I will hit submit for game number 2. On the draw for game 2, I will keep. I do need a second land, but you're supposed to keep these. Our deck has Surveil lands in it, you're on the draw. Mathematically speaking, you're likely to hit your second land. Once again, they have turn 1 Thoughtseize. This time they do take the Ruby Medallion. Good job. There's our second land. We'll play Arid Mesa and pass. They have a Bloodstained Mire. They fetch all the way down to 12. And a Death Shadow. And another Death Shadow. Okay. I had a feeling that they could have been Death Shadow, but I wasn't certain after seeing the Unearths in game 1. So if I had known... Whoops. I do not want Sacred Foundry. I would like Elegant Parlor. If I had known that they were Death Shadow, I might have left in the second copy of Grape Shot. I think I'll get rid of the Bloodstained Mire. Okay, Artist Talent is a good draw. We'll play that. And now we'll pass. Now I would like land 3. I know I just got rid of a Bloodstained Mire, but after drawing the Artist Talent, I would like to draw land 3. They play a Moon Shadow and a Polluted Delta. They fetch. The beatdown is coming into Nile Spellbomb. They have 1 card in their hand. They're attacking for 8. They're threatening lethal next turn. The Nile Spellbomb actually gives them lethal. So I just have to play spells here. Pyretic Ritual, trigger. If they have interaction, I'm dead. Discard the Orm's Chant. Elegant Parlor does not help here. I think I'm supposed to play the Desperate Ritual. Discard the Elegant Parlor. Desperate Ritual. We'll level up the Artist Talent. Play Manamorphose. The Wish gets me to Grape Shot, which is what I want, especially with the Nile Spellbomb in play. But it means I have to get rid of one of the Reckless Impulse effects. Yeah, I think it's just the move. Valakut Awakening was the draw. Red, red. Okay, so I technically have Wish and a Grape Shot right now, but that's not enough Storm. So we'll play the Reckless Impulse, and I'll discard Valakut Awakening. I need a Ritual. I did not hit a Ritual. I think we're probably dead. And I only have, so this deck list is not mine once again. There's only one untapped fetchable white source, and it's in my hand now. So this Arid Mesa does not grab it. All right, so I will shock myself. We're going to play Orm's Chant, target you, and I need to draw off the Artist Talent trigger a ritual. Discard the Sunbaked Canyon. That's a blocker. No, it's not. I can't cast it. The Artist Talent doesn't reduce Hexing Squelcher. So we fizzled and we're dead. We'll go to game 3. So we saw one of each ritual in the top third of the library, which is a little bit unlucky, but not super unrealistic. We'll bring in the second Grape Shot again. Maybe get rid of a Wish. Submit. Game 3 on the play. Yeah, this hand is delightful. We'll keep. We'll play Valakut Awakening and pass. They cycle Street Wraith. They play a Bloodstained Mire. Mishra's Bauble. They look at the top card of my library. And they did not have a turn 1 play. Heretic Ritual. I think we'll just play Reckless Impulse here. If they want a Stubborn Denial, go for it. They search out Watery Grave. And there it is. We will now pass. So part of making this play was acknowledging that they might slam a turn 2 Psychic Frog, which will give me an opening to kill them. They thought Scour themselves. Alright, here's my opening. We drew another land, though. Okay, I don't love drawing the land. I was really hoping for a spell we could cast to help us win. We'll grab Sacred Foundry. Ouch. Rail Monsoon Mage. Heretic Ritual. Trigger. Tails. Friend's Resolve. Tails. You gotta be kidding me. We'll play Manamorphose. Tails. No. Red, white. And unfortunately, we are passing the turn. They cycle another Street Wraith. They Fatal Push on my Rail Monsoon Mage. I mean, that was a good window for us to win, but we just... our cards were terrible. Ultimately, that's the issue. We'll play Orm's Chant, target them. We'll play the Wooded Foothills. Ruby Medallion. And now we'll pass. They fetch with Polluted Delta. They're at 10. Now they fetch with Bloodstained Mire. Harbinger of the Seas. I guess I'll go grab another mountain. It's going to make the Orm's Chant in my hand dead, which is a little annoying. Manamorphose is a good draw, because that will allow me to play the Orm's Chant, assuming I ever draw a payoff spell. Now they're going to unearth on Psychic Frog. They swing. Ouch. They have 3 cards in their hand. And we're continuing to just draw into garbage. End step, they Thought Scour. They use the Psychic Frog to... or, well, they discard a card to Psychic Frog. They play a Mishra's Bauble. They look at my top card. And now they attack for 4. I'll fall to 8. So they have lethal next turn. All they have to do is discard their entire hand and I'm dead. And they'll have 1 spare card. We drew another land. Jeez. Okay, we will pass. They pump up the Psychic Frog on the end step. They discard Fatal Push. Discards Otawara Soaring City. Discard Stubborn Denial. So they left themselves with 1 card in hand. And they got rid of a counterspell. So I'm guessing the last card is also a counterspell. And it is. Alright, so we lost. I don't know if there's really much I could have done. Our deck just did not draw well game 3. We had a really good window to try to win, and unfortunately the deck just didn't give us what we needed. So I would make the same play all over again, just hoping for better results. That said, a loss is a loss, and now we are 0-1. Packs.com is the new way to open your favorite cards. It's a site where you open digital packs of trading cards like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and One Piece cards, and have the cards you open mailed quickly and securely to you. With a wide range of packs to choose from, such as the latest Magic sets, Kaladesh Inventions, or even Beta. I'm going to open a Beta pack. What's great about Packs.com is you can see all of the cards and their odds of being opened in each pack. Now it's time to open one and see what I get. Come on, Black Lotus! If you don't like what you opened, you could sell it back instantly for more packs, or sell it and pick a specific card from the marketplace over at packs.com/market. If you want to check out packs.com, make sure to click the link in the description of this video and use code STORM5 when making a purchase for 5% extra on your first purchase. Let's try to bounce back in match number 2. We're on the draw. This hand is fairly good. We'll keep. There's a Saga into Amulet of Vigor. I'm afraid we've already lost. We'll play Bloodstained Mire, pass the turn. So if I draw a Ritual, there's a chance we could win. That said, if this Flashback was a Striker Rich, we actually have a very good chance of winning, because we could have played turn 1 Striker Rich, turn 2 Ruby Medallion, into Pyretic Ritual, Manamorphose, Past in Flames, replay these, and then try to win. Flashback here is almost strictly worse than Strike It Rich. They have a Crumbling Vestige, and now a Spelunking, into another Urza Saga. I really need to hit another ritual here. We'll Surveil with Elegant Parlor. Do not need Past in Flames. We drew a land. Alright, so what can I do? I can go Pyretic Ritual, Ruby Medallion, Manamorphose, and hope to spike. That's really all I can do here. And I'm not trying to harp on Flashback, but I just don't think it's as good as Strike It Rich. We'll play the Pyretic Ritual, play Ruby Medallion, play the Manamorphose, red, red. So I could play Flashback on Pyretic Ritual, which doesn't do enough. So I could Flashback on Manamorphose, giving me another chance to draw a Ritual. Okay, red, red. So now I could Reckless Impulse into double Ritual. That could do it. Or Ritual plus Manamorphose. Nope. Flashback, I think, might have cost us here. And the reason that I'm pointing out the shortcomings of the card is I'm trying to help Christopher play the best list possible. And at the end of my previous video, ooh, our opponent did not kill me. What? Okay. I want them to have success, is my point here. And I don't think that Flashback actually helps the deck improve. It's really good when you're already winning. And I don't think we want to be playing cards that are only good when we're already winning. Trying to put as many cards on the bottom in order to draw rituals. I think I'm allowed to get rid of the Wish here. Wow. We completely bricked. That's insane. Friends Resolve. Pass the turn. Oh. Looks like they're making another Construct token. They grab a third Amulet of Vigor. And now they attack for 5. This game is ugly. We're at 12. Finally. We'll play Bloodstained Mire. We'll fetch. Grab the Mountain. Play Desperate Ritual. Let's Ren's Resolve. Manamorphose. Red, red. We'll cast Past in Flames. I can't believe we're winning this game. We gave Amulet Titan 2 turns to kill us, and they just couldn't do it. This one does not feel like a win I deserve. Wear Terror is pretty good. So, like, I think Wear Terror is very good against Amulet Titan, where Prismatic Ending isn't. So I get wanting to play this. It's not my current list, but it's a card I could see myself adding. I don't love Artist Talent in this matchup. It's just really slow. I think that's all I would do here. Actually, I'm going to bring in one Prismatic Ending over the second copy of Grape Shot. It's just not a very good Grape Shot matchup. Unfortunately, there's no lands. We must mulligan. This is fine. Keep and bottom the Wish. They play Besiju Who Endures. We drew the second land like a lucky duck. I'll take it. 2 mana here. For a Green Sun Zenith for 1. For an Elvish Reclaimer. Am I supposed to try to shove? Like, this doesn't seem like a position where I die. I think I'll just play Ren's Resolve and pass. I mean, if I die from this spot, I would be very shocked. And they just pass the turn. We draw land number 3. I'll grab Mountain. Ruby Medallion. We'll try a Pyretic Ritual. Do you have a second copy of Besiju? They do. Okay. Yes. We'll grab Elegant Parlor. Get rid of the Prismatic Ending. Pyretic Ritual. We'll cycle Manamorphose. Red. White. Ooh, Rail Monsoon Mage. Let's go. Desperate Ritual. Trigger. Tails. So this turn I've played Pyretic Ritual, Manamorphose, Desperate Ritual. So Storm for Rail is currently 3 on my side. But I can give myself 3 chances to flip here. So I think I'm going to do that. And now in response to this, I'll play Desperate Ritual. In response to that, I'll Manamorphose. So I'm giving myself 2 extra chances to flip. Tails. We lose the flip. Red, white. Tails. We win the flip. Beautiful. Tails. We lose the flip. And now we'll kill the Elvish Reclaimer. 1, 2, and then the rest at them. We'll ultimate the Rail Leyline Prodigy. And that should do it. We'll play Desperate Ritual. Ren's Resolve. We'll play Ruby Medallion. Our opponent said GG's. GG's to our opponent. That said, they did not have particularly good starts in either game. I wouldn't say that this was particularly indicative of your average Amulet Titan experience. But a win is a win, and we are now 1-1. Building a new deck usually means getting hit with a dozen different shipping fees from a dozen different sellers. It adds up fast, and honestly, it's the worst part of buying cards. That's why I switched to Card Trader Zero. You shop their global marketplace, but instead of having every seller ship to you, they ship to Card Trader's hub first. Card Trader then packs everything into a single shipment for you, and it saves a small fortune on shipping fees. This package from Card Trader just arrived. These are 4 dark rituals that came from 4 different sellers, but they all arrived in one envelope, and every card was quality checked by the Card Trader team before it hit my door. Check out the link in the description to try Card Trader Zero's optimizer for yourself. Stop paying for multiple shipments and get just one. Round number 3 on the draw. This is an okay hand, I suppose. I mean, 4 lands isn't ideal, but I like having Ruby Medallion and Ren's Resolve. They have a turn 1 Pinnacle Emissary, so it looks like the Affinity deck. We'll play Bloodstained Mire, pass the turn. Another Pinnacle Emissary, okay. This time they have Metalcraft. I guess they did last turn too, and they didn't do anything with it. Now they play a Tormod's Crypt. There's a Saga. 2 cards in their hand. They swing for 1. And Sep will fetch. Grab Elegant Parlor. Keep the Ren's Resolve. We draw the Ren's Resolve. We'll now fetch to thin our deck. Like, you could play the Mountain, but it's better to thin your deck of the Mountain, and that's already in there. So this way, you're less likely to see lands off of Ren's Resolve. We will pass. Urza's Saga goes to the second chapter. They play Sink in a Stupor as a land. Interesting. Okay, 2 cards remain. We'll play Mountain. If they have like a Metallic Rebuke or something, I think I'd prefer if they burned it on the Pyretic Ritual. I'm going to play this first. I realized that I could Ruby Medallion, and now they're going to Metallic Rebuke here. Yep, we will pass. I'm at 15. If they have a Skateboard, am I dead? 7. I'm dead to Skateboard. Wow. Impressive. Brutal. Okay, we lose game number 1. We probably want the Brotherhood's End. Getting rid of Flashback. We'll probably get rid of Artist Talent. I don't mind Wear Tear here. Let's try this. Game number 2 on the play. Sure, we'll keep. We will play Arid Mesa and then pass the turn. They play Mishra's Bauble into Claws of Gix. They have turn 1 Metallic Rebuke open. We'll grab Elegant Parlor, get rid of the Ren's Resolve. We draw another Reckless Impulse. We'll play Reckless Impulse. Past in Flames, you are not what I wanted here. They play Urza's Saga into Damping Sphere. That's not annoying. Alright, we'll play Arid Mesa. We'll fetch and go grab the Elegant Parlor. We don't need Wish. And now I'll play the other Reckless Impulse looking for Artifact Destruction. Instead, we find Grapeshot in a land. They play Mishra's Bauble, and Sink in a Stupor as a land. Rail Monsoon Mage. I suppose I'll play it. And there's Metallic Rebuke. And I cannot respond with Pyretic Ritual because it costs 1 more due to Damping Sphere. So I will pass. They'll draw off of the Mishra's Bauble. Saga triggers. They make a Construct token. If I could find Brotherhood's End, this would be the spot for it. I should probably cycle Manamorphose to help dig. They find Mox Opal. So this means they probably have another Metallic Rebuke. Now a Grafdigger's Cage. Well, Manamorphose. Red. Okay. Pass the turn. Their Urza Saga goes to the second chapter. They make a Construct. Holding open that 1 mana for the Mox Opal, I'm pretty convinced that they have a Metallic Rebuke. I go to 12. We'll attempt a Veilcut Awakening. And I think I just have to get rid of everything here, trying to draw into Brotherhood's End. I did not find it. I think we're dead. I'll play Sacred Foundry. Or even a Wear Tear could have been okay there, but we just didn't find anything. And here's the Metallic Rebuke. No, it's Strict Serenade. Okay. Brutal. We are now 1-2. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $15.99. This token combo pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens featuring classic Storm and Mana tokens with new inclusions such as our modern Ruby Storm package, but that's not all. Our token pack covers a variety of formats from Pauper to CDH with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. We are on the draw for match number 4. I believe that's 4 in a row. And we've opened up a relatively okay hand. We will keep. They play Basic Forest, Springleaf Drum, maybe some sort of Hardened Scales deck. We'll play Elegant Parlor, Definitely would like to keep Ruby Medallion. We'll pass. Ghost Quarter. Malevolent Rumble. I have no idea what they're doing. Okay. I'm not even going to attempt to guess anymore. Maybe this is just what you face when you're 1 and 2. So they're Broodscale combo. With a Ghost Quarter? Maybe I'm just not up to tune or up to date on Modern, but this seems weird to me. I could be dead next turn, so I think I'm going to try to jam here. Pyretic Ritual, Ruby Medallion. All this league is doing for me is confirming the fact that I want to be playing Striker Rich, but also my current list only has 2. Maybe I had more, because I feel like it's very good right now. We'll play Pyretic Ritual, Manamorphose, Red. We'll Manamorphose again, Red, Ren's Resolve, into 2 more lands. Oh, brutal. Play the Ruby Medallion, pass the turn. I have not had a good look with that this league. There's the Broodscale. Alright, am I dead? You have infinite colorless mana. If they have, what is it called? Kozilek's Command, they can just find the Glaring Fleshraker and kill me that way. And they do have Kozilek's Command. And now they have Emrakul the Promise End. Okay. So they'll see that I have nothing. They can burn my ritual and fail to find off the fetch. And I drew a dud. Okay. We lose game number 1. I mean, this league is not going well, but I don't mind it that much because I feel like I'm learning a lot about how I want to construct my own list. I am very, very interested in trying to play more copies of Striker Rich. And like, I know mana hasn't been the only issue, but it gives you more chances to flip Rail Monsoon, excuse me, Rail Monsoon Mage as well. So I like that. I don't think Artist Talent is very good in this matchup, so we'll get rid of that. And then I'm wondering if you want Wear Tear or if you'd prefer Prismatic Ending. Probably Wear Tear. We'll try this. On the play. Nope. I will keep this. Bottom of land. Another thing is that when lists stopped playing Striker Rich, they all went up on lands. And I think that if you were trying to play 4 copies of Striker Rich, you could easily cut a land. So like that's another way to speed up your deck. I think I'll get rid of the Wear Tear for now. I might regret that, but I kind of just want to be the more aggressive deck when I'm on the play. We draw a Wish, I'll fetch with the Arid Mesa, we'll go grab the basic mountain. Play Ruby Medallion. Pass. They have land number 2. Pick your poison. And Blade of the Blood Chief. Okay. We'll play Reckless Impulse. I did not find land number 3, we'll pass. They have a Ghost Quarter. And they play Malevolent Rumble. Looks like their options are Prismatic Vista or the second Blade of the Blood Chief. They choose Prismatic Vista. We did not find that land again, but I will burn the Desperate Ritual here. We'll play the Rail Monsoon Mage, and then I'll play Ren's Resolve. We'll say Tails, and I guess we'll Grape Shot there. Eldrazi Spawn. Tails again. Target you, and we'll pass. They fetch with Prismatic Vista. They have Caligon's Command to kill my Rail Monsoon Mage. We'll play Ren's Resolve, and unfortunately pass the turn. They have Basking Broodscale. So they have infinite mana right now. The question is, do you have something to kill me? And they do. Okay, so, I mean, I don't feel like I've done anything particularly wrong here. I think that the deck is just a little slow. Like, ultimately, that's what it's come down to. And to sound like a broken record, I don't think it's ever been a better time to play Striker Rich in this deck. So, we're 1 and 3. Hopefully getting half my entry fee back in match number 5. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $15.99. This token combo pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens featuring classic Storm and Mana tokens with new inclusions such as our modern Ruby Storm package, but that's not all. Our token pack covers a variety of formats from Pauper to CDH with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. The final round, we are on the play for the first time this league. Sure, we'll keep. We'll play Valakut Awakening as a land and pass. So in between rounds, I was looking at MTG Goldfish just for a vibe check on, is what I'm saying even true? And it looks like most people out there right now are in fact running 2 copies of Flashback in their list. Like, it seems pretty stock, and I'm not trying to make it seem like Christopher is playing this like terrible thing that, you know, it's all their fault. A lot of people are doing this. A bigger issue that I have with Magic, and it's not an attack on Christopher or anyone else, looks like we're playing the mirror match, is I think there's not enough critical thinking that happens. It's a lot of people just copying MTG Goldfish deck lists over and over again without really making meaningful changes. And the reason I mention this is I don't think people recognize how they could improve if they thought a little bit more about their losses and tried to adapt more often. They're like, oh, well, everyone else is still doing this. I'll keep doing it too. And I just don't think that's a good idea. And right now, I think it's a pretty bad idea to be playing Flashback, especially when the format's so fast. Like, if my opponent had a turn 1 Striker Rich into Ruby Medallion, there's a chance I'd be dead. I think it's safest to just play the Past in Flames. Trigger the Monsoon Mage, no. We'll play Manamorphose, Tails, no. 2 red mana. Another Manamorphose, Tails, no. So I have played 6 spells, but one of them was the Monsoon Mage. We'll make 2 red. Running out of time here. Grape Shot target you. Tails, yes. Okay, so they'll take some damage. We'll ultimate the Railway Line Prodigy, and this will get the job done. So Flashback was just unneeded here. I suppose we'll play the other Monsoon Mage. Could have done that sooner, I guess. Tails, and the opponent concedes. We'll bring in Orm's Chant, get rid of Artist Talent. I also don't think we really need Flashback here. Probably don't need the second Grape Shot. Let's bring in a couple copies of Prismatic Ending, maybe. It's either that or Wear Tear. Wear Tear destroys Ruby Medallion at instant speed, but it does not hit Monsoon Mage. I think I'd prefer Prismatic Ending. This is a hand we'll keep. They have a turn 1 Elegant Parlor. We'll play Bloodstained Mire and pass. They play a second Bloodstained Mire and Ruby Medallion. Surveil away Manamorphose. We'll play a land and pass. They cast Manamorphose. Ren's Resolve. Monsoon Mage. They fetch. Desperate Ritual. Another Ren's Resolve. Reckless Impulse. They play Pyretic Ritual. They transform the Railway Line Prodigy. They play Monsoon Mage. They ultimate the Railway Line Prodigy, and they hit Past in Flames. I think this is a good time to Orm's Chant. This way the Past in Flames stays in exile. There's a chance that maybe I was supposed to Orm's Chant in response to the trigger. Or the ultimate ability, I should say, not the trigger. They won their Rail Flip, so their Planeswalker transformed. So that's not good for me. I need to find another Orm's Chant next turn if I want to win. Seems pretty unlikely. We'll fetch and play Reckless Impulse. I did not find an Orm's Chant, so we are likely dead. I guess I can hope that the Rail Ultimate is just straight garbage. I'm not sure what else I can do here. They play Wish, and now they ultimate the Railway Line Prodigy. They find their own copy of Orm's Chant, Pyretic Ritual, Reckless Impulse. They find another Monsoon Mage, Manamorphose. I have been targeted by Orm's Chant. They still have a card that they can play off of the Wish, which could just be Past in Flames. They're continuing to play spells, and I will concede to Past in Flames. They got me. Okay, on the play for Game 3. On the play, I think I'd actually rather have Flashback than Prismatic Ending. I think you're supposed to try to be more aggressive. Okay, the final game of this league. Keep. We'll play Elegant Parlor. Get rid of the land. Pass. They have their own Elegant Parlor. They kept their card. We draw Wish. We will fetch. And then play Ruby Medallion. Pass the turn. They have land number 2. Desperate Ritual. They're going for it. Monsoon Mage. Into another copy of Desperate Ritual. Reckless Impulse. It's Scalding Tarn Ruby Medallion. Not the best. And now a Ren's Resolve. Into land. And they pass. Okay. We'll play Monsoon Mage. Pyretic Ritual. Tails. No. Reckless Impulse. Tails. No. We'll play Arid Mesa. And now we'll fetch. Grab a land. Play the Desperate Ritual. Tails. We'll play Wish. Tails. No. We'll play Past in Flames. Storm is 6. No. And the opponent concedes. So we are going to finish this league 2-3. Woo! All right, Christopher, thank you for the donation deck. That said, Flashback is not it. I thought so at the beginning of that first league, and I continue to believe so now. I'm going to sound like a broken record. I would be playing Strike It Rich. Not only that, I think if I was going to enter a tournament tomorrow, I'd be playing 4. I'd probably be playing 19 total lands, including your 2 MDFCs, and I'd be playing 4 copies of Strike It Rich. I would not be playing 2 Grape Shots. You might want a copy or 2 of, what is it called? Glimpse the Impossible if you're going to be playing 3 or 4 Strike It Rich. Maybe those come at the cost of one of your copies of Wish, just because I do feel like Wish is sort of clunky unless you're already winning the game. So those are where those slots would come from. Gemstone Caverns never came up in the league. Neither did drawing a card off of some baked canyon. The sideboard, I like Wear Tear. Brotherhood's End versus Meltdown, I don't know if I have strong opinions on. I think they're both okay. I probably wouldn't play Hexing Squelcher. Stormscale Scion versus Empty the Warrens, I don't know if I care about that. Like, I think Empty's probably a little easier to cast because Scion is a lot of mana, but whatever ultimately makes you happy. I just wouldn't be playing Flashback. That's my 2 cents. I know everybody else on MTG Goldfish is, but you don't have to be like everyone else. You can make good decisions on your own. That's all I've got for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, keep storming. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. After you've done that, go check out Card Hoarder. It is the premier place to rent decks for Magic Online. In fact, you can rent the deck from today's video for as low as 7 tickets a week. Once again, go check out Card Hoarder. You'll be glad that you did.